option one, we have to start building things there. We have to be issuing bonds under the chapter of statute that allows for assessment and is part of the development process. So by going down the path of option one, we may have the possibility of coming with partners that get us the southern parcel, but it means that we must start development on the northern parcel in order to pay the debt service on those EDA bonds and on the public improvement bonds. And it also means that if we don't come up with the partners in an expeditious fashion, the clock is ticking on forcing development to happen on the southern parcel as well. So those are the two factors that really concern me about it. And also, I mean, if we're thinking of this as though we're buying options in the stock market, the premium is not cheap because in the draft plan, working out the back of the envelope numbers as staff has done for us on engineer estimates and so forth, you start with the purchase price of the land, $2.75 million. And then you add $1.45 million of infrastructure. Now, about half of that is the sewer, which may or may not have to come out. That's also not including interest costs and the like. So I'm a little bit worried that if we're going down the path of saying one option, 1A, or something along those lines, that we're kind of trying to avoid the unpleasant reality of what committing to option one takes us down. And it may be distracting us from accomplishing us. The perfect may become the enemy of the good in this situation if it keeps us from taking faster action on something that may be much more easily attainable and may still actually accomplish what we really want out of option one in terms of keeping the possibilities open. So suppose, for example, we went with option two, and it does seem that this would be more viable working with the financing that the city has available to it through internal fund balances, through the open space funding that is left over at this point in time, and so forth. It's something much more concrete that we can take to potential partners, watershed district, county, state agencies, the LCCMR grant that we've already applied for, and so forth. And I guess, to my mind, it's not a foregone conclusion if we successfully are able to buy the 20 acres from the landowner, that they'll find a development partner in any hurry. And remember, if we bought those acres successfully, we have now carved up what was originally platted under the Copart plan, and whatever there is at best some legal ambiguity about the status of the conditional use permit for the defunct entity that had it. The CUP's running with the land, yada yada, on legal discussion. But if we split off some of that land, then obviously the original development plan that had been approved there couldn't possibly go in. And so we would be requiring any new development to come in under the current comprehensive plan, under the current protective ordinances and the R1R zoning and so forth that we've had in place. That may make it increase the odds that the remainder of the property will stay on the market and open the door for us to find other funding alternatives for that without putting the EDA on the hook, without putting the taxpayers on the hook. For example, we could direct staff to move ahead with option two, attempt to secure the 20 acres, and simultaneously ask staff to develop the referendum idea, which was going to have to be part of option one anyway, in all likelihood, assuming that we can't rely on other partners. That was going to be, we would be looking to use bonds through the EDA and then have a referendum bond essentially pay back the EDA bond. I don't see why we couldn't attempt to get the referendum rolling and hope that we could have that process work its way through before the land was no longer available. So thought I'd put those ideas out for the rest of the council to consider and see if anybody else is finding themselves on the same page.